Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 1 of the anime series Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt. This was all kinds of freaking awesome. Many thanks to the viewer who gave me a heads up in the comments, because I didn't actually know this was available on YouTube. And apparently it's the first part of a 4-part, I believe, ONA, original net animation, being released exclusively online. And yeah, the vibes in this sucker. I mean, it's all kinds of like 90s jazzy goodness. The animation is shades of Cowboy Bebop meets Aeon Flux. It's just so freaking badass. And you basically have these two opposing factions. The Federation's More Brotherhood, led by Io, the cat who's mostly, predominantly into the jazz and everything, very much reminding me of that Yoko Kanno score from things like Kids on the Slope and Cowboy Bebop, all that kind of stuff. That flair, that vibe is just goosebumps inducing, and they're primarily going up against the Zeon side, this group called the Living Dead Division. And it's quite interesting that, because you have characters talking about getting information out of the arm of a corpse, effectively. The main guy, Daryl, for that particular movement, the guy who's very much the opposition to the Io character, talking about, he was given legs that are causing him pain. And it's quite interesting. It's almost like a Frankenstein guinea pig flair going on there. And it's immediately just investing, because you have that music influx. Music is like the warmth of souls the world over. And it's that communicative barrier breakdown where you don't need any sort of spoken words. If you're watching it subtitled, which of course you have to really understand what's going on, it's not even that much of a necessity, because you see what the battle is. You see how the battle is unfolding between these two factions. And effectively, the Federation side of things, the More Brotherhood side of things, is having their asses handed to them. Like, almost all of them are wiped out. I think in the case of this sortie that begins the episode, I think they said they have 24, sort of mobile suits that go out. Not the actual Gundam suits, but their mobile piloted suits. And only so many of them come back. There's only like a fraction of that actually returns. But you're following Io, who manages to, at one point when he is critically hit, he bombs out of there, at the last second. He's able to, eject at the last second. And he manages, in just a flight suit, to get in, behind the Zeon enemy lines, the, Living Dead Division lines. And he pops right in the head one of their chief snipers, this guy Hoover. And that's the guy subsequently that they're talking about getting, information out of his arm and all that kind of stuff. And when his body is subsequently returned with Daryl and their crew to that side, you basically have this professor woman named Carla, who I guess is a medical technician, but nobody knew she was apparently in a relationship with Hoover's, because she just goes, mad when they're bringing his body bag in, and she opens the bag and she just loses it. So she is very much out for vengeance. And you have Io being this just sort of badass, suave mother trucker who's like, you hear jazz blaring, it's me, and I'm coming for you. So she's like holding Daryl, as I say, the sort of opposing factions opposite to Io. She's saying, if you hear that jazz, you go after him, you kill him. She wants vengeance. She's out for blood. And so is Daryl himself by the end. And it's just captivating, because he's also asking for painkillers because his legs are bad. I guess they swap out body parts. I don't know how that all works, and I hope they're going to explain a little more of that as this ONA unfolds. But I mean, holy crap, man. And then Io, when he is back, he's getting sort of, they're talking about giving him the Gundam prototype. And this is a machine that people are scared of, which is just the best kind of vibe. It's not being treated lightly at all. They understand the power a machine like this possesses. And for Io, he is chomping at the bit. He's got goosebumps. He's excited. But you have the acting captain, this woman, Claudia, who is apparently his woman, and he being her guy. There is this solemnity in her wanting to, or having to, out of just because everyone else has been killed. Everyone higher has been killed along the, sort of chain of command, if you will. She now has to impart orders to Io, her lover, to pilot the prototype and take it into this battle, and she is scared to death of losing him, and he just sort of macks all on her, kisses her, she's trying to get away from him, like, I don't want to send you to your death and all this stuff, and he's just so pimp, like, he's just so assured of himself, and I like that he's got the little sidekick Cornelius character, if you've seen this, where he's constantly sneezing because of the processed air inside the sort of, the room with all the different mechs and everything like that. And he's every time he sneezes, he goes to his buddy Cornelius, hey, give me the tissues, and they're bantering back and forth about the classic style jazz and all that stuff, and it's just pimp. This was just so pimp. Like, they're only making 4 episodes of this. That is a crying shame as far as I'm concerned, because holy hell, was this awesome. Like, I very much feel like I was watching something out of the 90s, but in, like, Blu-ray quality, even on YouTube. Like, holy hell. And the only gripe I had was watching it on mobile. The subtitles were like, minuscule. I almost had to use a magnifying glass. But at least I could follow along with it. And the animation just was exquisite. The character designs, very much, between the music and the animation style and the character designs, as I say, harkened back to me that vibe, the look and the feel of a Cowboy Bebop, of a Aeon Flux in certain degrees, and it was stellar. It was like, my God, man, like, between this and Iron-Blooded Orphans, I feel like I've been missing a hell of a lot with the Gundam series, because I'm very much a novice with it. I've only cursorily been familiar with it, and like back in the 90s when Gundam Wing was apparently prevalent and was currently airing, I was able to find a trio of figures from that, and I really loved the design of them, so I picked them up, but I knew nothing about the show. I never watched it. So, I mean, if like, this is the predominant feel, the look and the feel, the overall vibe, and the pathos, and the gravitas in the story, the drama of Gundam stories and such like that, I really got to get more into the Gundam thing, that whole franchise, because, damn, this was freaking awesome. I don't know when episode 2 comes out. I don't know when this is going to actually properly air. I don't know if this is a precursor to a full-fledged series or not. Information on that, I was looking around, and it's pretty scarce. But first episode of 4, not. This was freaking awesome. Like, I loved it. And yeah, I can't wait for more. I hope we hear more kick-ass jazz. I hope we see EO wiping the floor with the Living Dead division, even though there's that wonderful gray area, once again, that I've been told Gundam does well, where there's no clear-cut good versus evil, black versus white, that kind of thing. And you can find yourself, I found myself at times, not sure who I'm rooting for here. Like, at times EO comes off as a little bit of a scumbag. Other times, whereas the Living Dead division kind of seems really creepy and lethal in their own right, you can kind of feel a little bit of, resonating, like, relatability with them as well. And so it's like, it could go any which way. You don't know who you're going to be vying for in the end. And that just makes it more exciting, that much more exciting. So, again, many thanks to the viewer who called the heads up to me on this so I could catch it and talk about it, because, damn. And as far as, it's available, I will link in the description below the YouTube link so you can go check this out if you haven't seen it already. I don't know if it's like an official release that'll stay up or if it'll be taken down at some point in the future. If at some point you click on this video and it's not available, I can't really do anything about that. It's just the way it works. C'est la vie, as they say. And otherwise, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. If you have seen it, what you thought of it. Were you as blown away as I was? Like, just the awesome sauce of it, the nature of it. And if not, why not? Let me know in the comments below. Love having that conversation. So otherwise, I hope this video finds you well. That'll be pretty much it for me on this, and I'll catch you later. Peace.